Friday came with a groundbreaking announcement that shook the entire financial world. The BRICS bloc, already known for shaking things up, has added a new layer to its economic strategy. Russia has taken over the presidency after South Africa, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates, the newest members of the BRICS family, have inked a mega deal. We're talking about a jaw-dropping amount of $35 billion dedicated to urban development. Russian officials noticed the following coincidence that the currencies of 5 BRICS countries all start with the letter R: Rial, Ruble, Rupee, Renminbi, and Rand. They then proposed that the new currency be called R5. Ever wondered how a group of nations join forces, not just to compete, but to redefine the rules of the game for global economics? That's BRICS, a dynamic alliance of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, unite to shake up the world order. From trade to currency, from challenging global powers to building new partnerships, intending to take power from west to east, they're rewriting the playbook. Stick around as we uncover the secrets behind their rise, their influence, and what the future holds for this powerhouse coalition of BRICS. Get ready to be amazed. So hello viewers, welcome back to our channel GeoKit, your daily guide to geopolitical affairs. If you are new to the channel and enjoy learning about fast-paced modernity, especially about the geopolitical positions of countries in the international race, you will find our videos helpful. In this video, we will discuss how BRICS is changing the global economy, how BRICS with its decisions has influenced other countries to shift their focus from west to east, and how Russia is challenging the Western SWIFT system, even being heavily sanctioned by them. Want to know how? Stick around as we uncover the secrets behind their rise, their influence, and what the future holds for this mega coalition of BRICS. Get ready to be amazed. Watch the video until the end to know further. So without any delay, let's get started. As you know that, the BRICS Cooperation Network is expected to promote harmony and deepen integration within the global majority around the world. But today, the US-China contestation, China-India hostilities on the border, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Israel-Hamas war, and the regionalization of conflict in West Asia have transformed the international environment in which BRICS operates. On the 1st of January 2024, the presidency of BRICS shifted from South Africa to Russia, with a full agenda in tow. President Vladimir Putin recently defined the priorities of the Russian presidency through a catch-all theme that their main goal is to make sure everyone works together to make the world fairer and safer for everyone. Tired of 2 years of damaging Western sanctions and efforts to isolate Russia on account of its war against Ukraine, Moscow conveyed that its focus would be on building positive and constructive cooperation, promoting the 3 pillars of BRICS: political and security cooperation, economic and financial cooperation, and cultural and people-to-people exchanges. Special attention is to be accorded to science, high technology, healthcare, environmental protection, and cultural relations. BRICS, which is a club of 5 main nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, made history at its 15th summit in Johannesburg in August 2023 by taking decision to accept the applications of 6 other states to join it: Argentina, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia. Now, they need to make sure these new countries fit in well with the group. The first bump was felt last year in December, when South Africa was still in the presidency, as the newly elected Argentine president Javier Gerardo Milei formally declined to join the group, stating politely that the timing was not right for his country to enter BRICS. The second unexpected response came a month later in January 2024 from newly admitted member Saudi Arabia, which failed to send its representative to the BRICS Sherpas meeting in Moscow, without providing clarity on whether it wished to join or stay out of BRICS. So far now, there are 9 countries in the group. But there's a chance that the president of BRICS might convince Saudi Arabia to join too, making it 10 countries altogether. The recent inclusion of Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE from January 2024 marks a significant milestone in the evolution of BRICS bloc. This means that 5 new currencies are in the pot for payments and mutual holdings, joining those of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The enlargement of BRICS membership has empowered the concept of greater BRICS cooperation, and the political and academic domains of member countries have increasingly embraced this concept. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed support for this expansion, highlighting that India has always supported for it, believing that including new members will enhance BRICS as an organization. With BRICS representing a quarter of the world's economy and comprising some of the most powerful emerging nations, these new members are expected to shape global economic and geopolitical dynamics significantly. First of all, because this is the first year of greater BRICS cooperation, which coincides with a complex geopolitical conflict involving Russia, which holds the BRICS presidency. The international community is particularly concerned about how President Vladimir Putin uses BRICS as a platform for diplomatic breakthroughs. Secondly, news outlets are concerned about whether the expanded BRICS will start to lean too much against the West, or whether the world will once again be divided into two sides like before. Russia is reportedly readying itself to pivot to using digital currencies to settle international transactions with its allies amid economic sanctions against it. Russia has long suffered from the Western payment system, with its major banks banned from SWIFT settlements, seriously jeopardizing Russia's financial stability and security over Russia-Ukraine war. Under the presidency of Russia, BRICS countries are keen to further explore payment instruments under the guidance of the BRICS Payment Task Force to create a secure and inclusive payment system. Leaders tasked finance ministers and central bank governors to study local BRICS currency cooperation, payment instruments, and platforms, and submit a report to the leaders' meeting in Kazan. After Russia, there comes Iran, on which heavy sanctions have been imposed by the European Union, along with the United States over the controversies around Iranian nuclear program. And this might be the reason that earlier this year Iran, a new BRICS member, announced that it has connected to Russia's interbank communication and transfer system, creating an alternative to the Western-controlled SWIFT system. Some scholars see Russia's presidency of BRICS as a catalyst for change. It is expected that the creation of a new payment system will be a priority for BRICS, and efforts toward this goal are bound to accelerate under Russia's stewardship. The BRICS alliance have several schemes to de-dollarize the world. BRICS is looking to suffocate the US dollar by using local currencies to settle cross-border transactions. Before we move on to discussing what the strategies of BRICS are, I'd like to hear from you. Are you finding this video informative? Feel free to share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. And if you're finding it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Your support means a lot to us and helps us create more content that you'll love. Let's continue this journey together. Number 1. BRICS members India, China, Russia, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia have already started using local currencies for international trade settlements. This move could be devastating to the US economy, as America will find it hard to fund its deficit. Number 2. And if the US fails to import the dollar, the currency will circulate back to the homeland and lead to inflation, and it'll make prices to skyrocket with housing, rent, and basic daily necessities will turn expensive and unaffordable. Number 3. A total of 5 US financial sectors could be affected if BRICS stops using the dollar for international trade. The financial sectors that could begin to decline include banking, foreign exchange, tourism, consumer goods, and production. Number 4. First of all, the banking and financial sector will be the hardest hit as foreign exchanges will begin to decline. Secondly, BRICS is looking to create their own internet services and not depend on American technology for news and social media. Thirdly, foreign investors will stay away from the US dollar as the debt crisis and deficit will only worsen. Number 5, finally, tourists will begin to pay local currencies for their travels and leave the US dollar behind. China and Singapore are already making tourists to pay in local currencies in their respective countries and not the US dollar. In conclusion, BRICS has several schemes up its sleeves that is aimed to hurt the prospects of the US dollar. Moreover, if the Biden administration does not act quickly to counter BRICS, stopping the dollar's decline could become much harder. Now the question arises which currency will emerge, as the BRICS vehicle currency in the short and medium term is still open. This currency will have to be strong and offer stable relations with the rest of the world. Among the new currencies, the only ones that meet these criteria are the Saudi Riyal and the UAE Dirham. Both currencies have full capital account convertibility for residents and foreigners and have been connected to the dollar since the mid-1990s. While the Saudi government might worry a little bit about internationalizing its currency, the UAE seems more market-friendly, open to trading in all the other BRICS currencies. As a market maker, it could fulfill the role of vehicle currency in the short term. The combined GDP of the BRICS countries in terms of purchasing power parity has reached about 1/3 of the global value and has exceeded that of the GV7 countries. The BRICS countries account for 30% of dry land and nearly about half of the planet's population, 45%, a substantial part of the global production of oil and other resources, and about 25% of global exports. Russia's President Vladimir Putin said in a latest conference that BRICS could control 37% of the world's GDP in 2028. Moreover, he said that the G7 bloc of Western countries' global GDP power will fall much below 28%. The move could begin to shift power from the West to the East, making developing countries sit in the driver's seat of the global economy. According to Russian Ambassador Evgeny Terekin, BRICS can make big plans for the whole world by always thinking about what most people want and sharing their ideas about how the world should be in the future. They want to do this based on real things happening, not made-up stuff that stops people from growing. BRICS, which is made up originally of emerging economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and after the inclusion of Ethiopia, Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and UAE in BRICS, and the decision taken by them to change the global payment system and other economic rules. Membership queries from 34 countries are pending, and they continue to express interest in joining BRICS. The fact that so many countries want to join BRICS at the same time is rare in the history of international multilateral mechanisms. As for the reason, Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar commented on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference. 30 countries want to join, and that means BRICS must have done something good. While over the presidency of Russia and the Ukraine crisis still lingering, the West will continue to see it as a political must to suppress Russia. In a nutshell, as a cooperation mechanism that is quite different from the Western alliance system, BRICS has become more prominent. It is a multilateral mechanism that represents the global South in the new round of reconfigured industrial and value chains, and it is also the main driver in the reconstruction of the century-old international order. Greater BRICS cooperation will undoubtedly promote the transformation of the global governance. One of the most important aspects that we need to preserve today is one global economy, one global market, one global internet, and to avoid the fragmentation of that global economy. Within a united global economy, many of the institutions like BRICS can play an extremely important and complementary role. Do you think that greater BRICS will create monopoly over the world economy? Or will it continue to new countries in the list to compete west? Will the dominancy of dollar be replaced by R5 in the global trade? Although the schemes that are discussed about the de-dollarization are not fully achieved, yet BRICS has planned hard and decided to implement this in future, and according to BRICS, these could be the outcomes of USD on the long run of global economy. But USD, which has been dominant currency over the years, what do you think that will let itself be deflated that down? Let us know your opinions in the comment section, and don't forget to share the video and like and click on the subscribe button as well for remaining updated of the current trends in this fast-paced modern world. Until the next video, stay tuned.